Hi guys. For those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Cassie Rasley and I love all things beauty, makeup, and fashion. And today we're going to come to you with a makeup tutorial, but not just a makeup tutorial. We're not doing whole makeup. We're just doing what I find, at least for me, and hopefully for all of you other women who maybe have more mature skin, is the biggest issue ever. Under eye concealer. It doesn't matter what concealer you use, under eye concealer is the worst. It is, okay? So, I'm gonna go take a wipe on my under eyes. I already have my makeup done, but I'm gonna take my wipe to my under eyes and we're just gonna start all over with concealer. And I have the best trick ever that I've learned. Like, some tricks you try and you're like, no, this one actually works. Like, for me, it actually works. And from the people that I've talked to about it, that have tried it, actually works too. It's not my tip. I learned it on YouTube, but I'm just passing on my knowledge to you guys. So here we go. This is it. Try it. When you try it, tell me if you love it or not. And also, if you're not already following me, make sure you tap the screen, hit that follow button, and share this video because I promise you, all of your friends are gonna love this new trick and tip that I'm gonna share with you guys. I can't wait. Here we go. Okay, under eye makeup is off. First off, I'm going to start with our primer. You guys, a primer is a primer that's, because our pores are, that was way too much. I forgot that I'm not doing my whole face, but our pores are typically the worst right around here. So you want a primer that's going to sit and not sit in, but fill in your pores, okay? And those delicate fine lines underneath your eyes. Always upward when you're working with your eyes. And even just anything on your face. Don't pull down. Don't go like this. Upward. But this does a really good job of filling in those wrinkles and those pores that seem to be so bad right here. Okay? First tip. Let it, and also then let it set. Don't go right in with your product. Otherwise, it's going to be just like going right in with it. So when we paint, we always prime first, right? But you always want to let the primer dry before you go in with the paint. Otherwise, it slips and slides everywhere. So let it dry. Give it like 30 seconds to a minute to let it dry. Primer has sat for 30 seconds to a minute, and I'm going to go in with our concealer. Concealer, you want it to be about 1 to 3 shades lighter than your foundation color. Less if you've got more mature skin, okay? If you're aging and have got more mature skin, I would only say 1 shade lighter. So here we go, I've got this, and I'm going to start it off with my finger just because it warms it up and it just sets better if you do it with your finger to start out with, okay? Doing one eye totally at a time with this trick. You really don't need as much concealer as you might think, especially based on what you might see people do in different tutorials. But if you've got issues with your concealer creasing or looking crepey, I'm going to just pick up a little bit more. Then you want to be as light on the concealer as possible. Less is more, like I've always said. Bring it down the side of your nose, like so, and then up. And then just kind of keep tapping for a few seconds, and then go in with your damp beauty blender, okay? You'd never ever want to use a beauty blender if it's not damp. So what you do is you take and you like get it sopping wet, and then squeeze all of the water out of it so that there's nothing, no drips or anything. So I'm just using this beauty blender to further press in everything. So your finger first and then the beauty blender. The next tip is setting spray. Okay. So you're gonna spray, setting spray. Obviously, everything that I use, you guys, you can get in the link in the description, either above or below, depending on how you watch it, okay? But I'm just gonna spray a little bit on my hand, okay? Because I just want access so that I can put it on this finger. And I'm gonna like tap and then like tap a teeny bit of it off. You don't want a ton, I don't think you can see this, but you don't want a ton on your finger. But you want enough so that it's just barely wet And then you can tap it out till it's dry. That's what we're doing. We're just gonna keep tapping it out until it's dry. And when I first did this or heard of this trick, I thought, no way. So look up so you can get all the way in those cracks and crevices and wrinkles. I thought, no way, this is gonna pull up any concealer that I already laid down. But it doesn't, and maybe I'm not sure if that's why it works, because it pulls up any excess concealer, because we always tend to go in heavy-handed with concealer, but whatever the reason, this works. This, to me, it feels like is the trick to the entire thing. And I basically focus here and then take a little bit down in what's left over here. Because for me, it's mostly here. And then on the outside of my eye, where those crow's feet are. Those dang crow's feet, okay? So there's what we have so far. And the last step is a setting powder, okay? And you need to be very careful with how much of this you use. You want to use very little, okay? And I'm actually going in with our blending brush that we use on our eyes, but I'm not using very much, okay? See how I'm tapping most of it off? And then I'm just pressing it into my under eye while looking up, but you can see I'm not swiping, I'm pressing. That's huge. And again, you wanted to make sure that before you were done with the setting spray, that it was all tapped out. And you can almost feel when it was done, because it almost started to feel tacky. You'll feel. Just trust me. Okay. Let me make sure I've got enough and not too much. And I'll show you guys how amazing this looks. My phone will not let me zoom in. Okay, now let me just quickly, I'm gonna do the other side and I'm gonna speed it up just so you can see it one more time, and then I'll show the final results. So there you have it. Don't mind my little pimple. Makeup always makes your pimples look worse. But remember, I did this a little backwards. Typically, you would do your concealer, you would do maybe your foundation and not take your concealer up underneath your eyes as much, and then do your concealer, or do your concealer first and then do your foundation. But now it looks very kind of stark because I have nothing on the tops of my cheekbones. So you could just take, that's why I'm doing this now. I'm just taking a little bit of blush back up onto my cheekbones so it looks normal. Because I went backwards in this tutorial. Just because I already had my makeup done, but I wanted to show you guys how to do this. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, all of the products that you saw me use today, you could purchase in the link in the description of the video, or just send me a message if you have any questions, okay? Yeah, so that's basically it, you guys. Try it and tell me what you think. But like, it wears better all day long. It looks better. It doesn't creep and crepe and crease. I really love it. Honestly, I love it. Try it and tell me what you think. Put it in the comments below. Tell me what you think. And again, remember to follow me for more tips and tricks that I have going forward, and share this video with your friends because they're gonna love you for it. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next video.